I don't know if I'm still the only one that hasn't done this yet, but I have not looked at a single Mythic champion in Infinite Magic Raid yet. I don't even know all their names. I'm aware of Lucifer, like I'm aware of a couple of them, but I know nothing about any of them. I haven't watched videos. I haven't come in here and look at it myself. So I thought we would do that together today. It's going to be kind of like the Epics, every Epic reviewed video, but much shorter because there's not nearly as many of them. I just want to know what's going on with them. It's going to be a long time before we get any on this account. This is the free-to-play account. So it's going to take a bit, but I'm still curious. So let's just do a quick review of all of them and see what we think. See if there's anybody that stands out for us. First, we've got Hild, I guess. Brynhild. Counterattack, removal, control, and turn meter. I'm expecting these champs to be insane. So, also, what is skills? Wait a minute. They have different sets of skills? Wow, okay. If you switch, does it change this? No, okay. All right. Do they all have that? No, she just has that. That must be something to do. She must change form or something. All right, let's see. Defense damage to a single enemy. Chance to inflict silence. Wow. Guaranteed silence on the A1 when you skill her up, if you have the accuracy. And reduces the target's turn meter by 15%. 280% defense damage to all enemies after removing all buffs on them. There's an 80% chance to inflict hypnotize when it deals damage. Here we go. She has 2 battle forms, heavy cannon and heavy sword. Her initial form is heavy cannon, which reduces the direct damage she received by 20% and grants her an additional 30% effect resist. Okay. She switches to the heavy sword form. This skill's cooldown cannot be reduced or increased by other effects. And when you get it all the way skilled up, she gets an extra turn when she switches. Okay. And then in her other form, she does 2 stages of defense damage. It ignores immortal damage immunity and shield. Nice. Selects an ally and summons Wolf Spirit to possess them for 2 turns, during which reduces all the damage taken by the possessed ally by 40% and counterattacks the attacker after taking active damage, dealing damage by 200% of her defense. Okay, interesting. Deals 20% more direct damage and 40% extra crit damage when she's in heavy sword. And then switches back. Okay, man, she is interesting. She sounds kind of like the, is it Beast Rider from Summoner's War? That's kind of when I stopped playing, is when they started adding those. But I think there's something like, or like kind of like the unicorn maybe too, that switches forms. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Lucifer's one I'm aware of. I've seen him in the campaign and stuff. Let's see what he's got going on. 200% attack damage to a single enemy. When crit is triggered, launches another attack. After killing a target, attacks the target with the lowest HP up to 2 times. When attacking the same target, damage dealt for the second time is 70% of the previous one. 550% attack damage to a single enemy. Inflicts feebleness and grants stealth. And that gets down to a 3-turn cooldown. Damn, that's big numbers, dude. At the start of each wave, he grants himself stealth for 1 round. When he's under stealth status, increases his crit rate by 30% and crit damage by 30%. The duration extends 1 more turn if he's under stealth status when he kills a target. If not, he receives stealth. Okay, so he's going to be one of those like hard to target. 840% attack damage to a single enemy. Deals 20% more damage if the target has a buff or debuff. And then there's big numbers in the skill ups here. Reduces all enemies' defense by 60% for 2 turns if Lucifer inflicts a kill. Then cast Karma once more on a random target. That is disgusting, dude. That is crazy. So he does this. If he kills someone, he puts defense down on everyone and then does it to another random target. That's gross, bro. Man, booked up, that's so insane. That is so much damage. Nice. All right, all caster. Control, AoE damage, and debuff. What do we got? Deals 3 stages of attack damage to a single enemy. If self HP is below 50%, additionally grants 40% self leech. If not, increases turn meter by 10%. Okay. 200% attack damage to all enemies with a 50% chance to inflict Horrify. He gains a layer of soul honor for every one enemy died. Okay. Each layer increases the damage dealt by 20% and his effect hit by 20%. This can stack up to 4 layers. All right. Increases self-attack by 40% for 2 turns. Afterwards deals damage to all enemies with a 30% chance to reduce their defense. He's got a good AoE defense down. So he hits everyone, puts defense down, and then he puts attack up when you get his exclusive. How would you get his exclusive? I guess you'd save up and get another one. Boy, that's brutal. That's a brutal notion right there. Yeah, he seems interesting. That A1's pretty solid, actually. Yeah, he seems pretty dope. What are Lucifer's exclusives? Gains an additional 15% crit damage, and additional attacks no longer reduce damage. Inflicts feebleness and severe wound, and reduces all enemies' defense by 2 turns. Oh, that's the yeah, that's the exclusive. Yeah, that's nutty, bro. Nutty. She looks pretty cool. Lucia, bleed, single target damage, and shield. Deals 3 stages of attack damage with a chance to inflict 1 layer of bleed for 2 turns. Its chance increases 70% when landing a crit. All right, so lots of bleeds. 3 stages again of attack damage. First stage inflicts 2 layers of bleed for 2 turns. Second stage deals 10% more damage for each layer of bleed. The third stage is guaranteed to land a crit and deals more damage based on the target's lost HP. Okay. And she grants herself a shield and stealth with her exclusive. All right. Oh, we got a lot going on this one. 2 pieces of soul fragment each time she inflicts a kill, and gains 1 piece of soul fragment each time she casts an active skill. Every piece of soul fragment increases her leech speed and bleed damage by 3%. She will merge the fragments into a soul core when she has 5 pieces, which increases her leech speed and bleed. She will not gain any soul fragment since then. Instead, she acts for 1 turn immediately and resets the cooldown of all her active skills. I think what that means is once she gets a soul core, she doesn't get soul fragments anymore. And then I guess every time she takes a turn or gets a kill, she just gets another. No, I don't know. She will not gain any soul fragments since then. I assume since then means when she gets a soul core. Instead, she acts for 1 turn immediately and resets the cooldown of all her active skills. Does that mean she's just always fresh on cooldown then? I don't fully understand what that means. Reduces the cooldown of a random active skill by 1 turn each time she gains a soul fragment. Each soul fragment additionally. Wow, dude. So she seems better suited for longer fights. She seems good, like good PvE. I mean, potentially PvP, but she seems like good PvE. 6 stages of 120% attack damage to a single enemy. First stage inflicts bleed, and the following 5 stages has an additional 50% pierce rate. Inflicts 1 layer of bleed for 2 turns whenever the last 5 stages land a crit, or if there is a 60% chance. Okay, yeah, she's kind of sick. Nita, debuff AoE damage and poison. Attack damage to a single enemy with a chance to inflict poison. Restores HP for every layer of poison the target has. Deals damage to all enemies. Inflicts deep poisoning. AoE deep poisoning. Wow. Afterward, deals an additional 160% attack damage, increasing 10% damage for each layer of poison. Interesting. The additional damage is treated as poison damage. Why is that relevant? What does that mean? I don't fully understand what that means either. And she's got block buffs on that one too with her exclusive. She grants immunity to all dot and converts all poison on her to heal. She has a 30% chance to pursue and attack enemy targets who have poison cleansed from them. Up to 3 attempts to pursue and attack targets in each of her turns. You can get it up to 5. So if they get poisons cleansed, she's got a chance to just put them right back on them. Interesting. 3 stages of damage to all enemies with a chance to inflict poison. She's just a poison factory, dude. Addition triggers poison 1 time after dealing 3 stages of damage, up to 6 layers. Wow. Ben Austin. Okay. Okay. Ben Austin. What an interesting name. Removal, cleanse, focus fire, and debuff. Focus fire, I don't think I'm familiar with. Alright, deals damage to a single enemy with a chance to reduce their defense. Then the ally with the highest attack pursues and attacks. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. That's gross. Deals 2 stages of attack damage to all enemies with a 35% chance to increase the cooldowns of the target's active skills by 1 turn. Oh wait, no, you could use Dragon Eyes for exclusives. That just clicked. That just clicked. I don't know why that just clicked, but it did. All right. With a 35% chance to increase the cooldowns of the target's active skills by 1 turn. Okay. Ben Austin has a 20% chance to cleanse all control effects from any ally who falls under control effects. Targets who have control effects cleansed gain. Okay. Removes all buffs from an enemy target, then inflicts block buffs on them for 1 turn. Cleanses all control effects from all allies. It makes them pursue and attack this. So focus fire is ally attack in this game. That's what that means. Resets its cooldown if it fails to kill the enemy target. Wow. So he could just keep using this on a boss, basically. Interesting. Nordak, single target, protection buff, cleanse, shield. 300% defense damage on the A1. Deals 10% more damage for every 1 type of buff up to 40%. Increases the man, Jesus, dude, that's a big ol' A1. Cleanses all attribute debuffs from all allies and grants them a shield. Okay. At the beginning of each turn, he has a 60% chance to gain defense, speed, crit rate, crit damage, effect, hit. All of them? I don't see an or. 5% chance to grant 1 of these bonuses to his allies at the start of their turn. Holy shit, dude. All of them? Grants damage immunity to all allies for 1 turn and shares all self buffs. Ooh, buff spread. So he could theoretically get all these and then spread them at the beginning of the fight with this. Wow. Luna. She does a lot of reviver. I don't feel like there's a lot of revivers in the game. Or I haven't seen them anyway. There are. All right. A1 sleep. Okay. Increases all allies' turn meter by 15% and grants block buffs. Meanwhile, grants all allies except for the main target's stealth. At the beginning of a turn, an ally will gain a layer of heal for 2 turns if heal doesn't work on this ally. At the beginning of a turn, an ally will gain a layer of heal for 2 turns if heal doesn't work on this ally. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Will gain a layer of heal for 2 turns if heal doesn't work on this ally. So if they have a heal block? But then that's pointless, right? I don't know that that's what that means, though. And then she has a chance to reduce 20% incoming attack for 1 turn when she takes direct damage. I don't understand what that one means. Cleanses all allies 5 layers of dot debuffs and all other debuffs. Meanwhile, grants them 1 layer of heal. Increases the attack of allies who have 50% or more HP by 40%. Restores the HP of all allies. Revives a selected main target by 40% of max HP and increases their turn meter. Granted Luna. I'm seeing if it turns into an AoE revive. Okay. I guess I'm a little confused. Like, she's doing a lot, clearly. There's just some of it I don't fully understand, so maybe I don't fully get how good she is. I kind of expected her to have an AoE revive, too, if I'm gonna be honest. As a Mythic champ, I kind of thought she was gonna have an AoE revive. Madlena, I guess. 300% attack damage to a single enemy. This attack deals 5% more attack damage for every target to the target for every layer of primordial seed, and then inflicts 1 layer of primordial seed. The buff owner will be crumbled and take massive damage from her when a certain number of... Oh, shit. Okay. Deals 2 stages of damage to all enemies with chance to reduce their defense. So we've got a good AoE defense down here. First stage of damage is guaranteed to reduce the target's defense. So an irresistible defense down, okay. Inflicts 1 layer of primordial seed on any enemy targets whenever they restore HP by a total of 22% of their max HP. Specifically, or at least? She consumes, or a cumulative. She consumes 10 layers of primordial seed and crumbles targets when they have 15 layers of primordial seed, slashing them if their HP is below 50%. If she fails to slash them, deals 600% attack damage to them. Why would she fail to slash them? I guess if their HP is not below 50%. So if they have 15, she consumes 10 of them. Okay. Deals 3 stages of attack damage to all enemies and inflicts primordial seed. Increases the target's damage taken from this skill by 4% for every layer. So yeah, again, kind of like longer fights. The more that stacks up, the worse it is for everyone. So longer style fights. But yeah, she seems interesting. And then Melchio? I don't know. Control turn meter, AoE damage, debuff removal, and cleanse. So he's doing a little bit. He's got a skill switch thing too. No one else did. No, I don't think so. Just him. All right. And Brian Hild. 3 stages of attack. That's a lot of damage on an A1. Reduces their turn meter by 10% or 15% when landing a crit. 320% attack damage to a single enemy and 2 other random enemies. Crit is guaranteed for targets with debuffs. Interesting. 180% attack damage to all enemies with a 40% chance to reduce their tenacity. Oh, come on. Alright, he's immune to Silence, Horrify, and Provoke. He gains 1 layer of basic elemental charge whenever he casts a basic skill. The next skill he casts will be upgraded to the corresponding intermediate skill when he has 2 layers of basic elemental charge. He will lose basic elemental charge and gain 1 layer of intermediate elemental charge. Bro, this is ridiculous. The next skill he casts will be upgraded to the corresponding advanced skill when he has intermediate elemental charge and 2 layers of basic elemental charge. This feels like a prank. He will lose intermediate elemental charge and 2 layers of basic elemental charge after casting the advanced skill. He gains 2 layers of basic elemental charge at the beginning of each wave. The cooldown of all the skills will not be reduced or increased by other effects. Okay, dude. Alright, and then intermediate. Deals 4 stages of attack. Man, that's really nasty, though. Has an additional piercing rate. Crit is guaranteed. Has extra crit damage. Removes shield from all enemies and deals attack damage to them with a 40% chance to reduce their tenacity. So he gains 2 layers of basic elemental charge at the beginning of each wave. So he starts with 2. When he casts a basic skill, he gains another level of basic elemental charge. I think that's all the gaining of basic elemental charge he does. The next skill he casts will be upgraded to the corresponding intermediate skill when he has 2 layers. So he gains 2 layers at the beginning of each wave. So the first skill he casts should be an intermediate skill. When he casts the intermediate skill, he consumes the basic charges and gains an intermediate charge. Oh, he's got 3 levels of skills. So this is the advanced. Those 4 stages, change and more pierce rate. Just extra crit damage. Steals all buffs from enemies. Steals all buffs from enemies. Okay. So the first thing he does is going to be an intermediate skill. And he will consume the basic charges and gain an intermediate. You will lose basic and gain 1 layer of intermediate after casting the intermediate. The next skill he casts will be upgraded to the corresponding advanced skill when he has 1 intermediate and 2 layers of basic at the same time. So the first thing he do will be intermediate that will give him an intermediate charge and consume his basic. So then he'll need to... But then how does he get basic? I guess it doesn't change his skills over to that. He just casts the appropriate. So he'll have an intermediate charge and then he'll have to get 2 more turns to have intermediate and 2 basic. And then he can cast an advanced skill. Okay, I think we understand. I think the first thing he does will be intermediate. The next 2 will be basic. And then the 4th will be advanced. I believe I'm understanding that correctly. Okay. And yeah, it gets gross. The advanced skills are all disgusting. All right. There you go. Now we understand. I think the ones that I'm probably the most interested in. I mean, he's filthy, honestly. He's pretty filthy. I think Ben Austin. I think Ben Austin is pretty dope. I think Lucifer's real dope. I think Hild is pretty good. I mean, they're all good, obviously. I think the ones I think those might be the 3 or 4 that I'm the most interested in. She actually seems really cool too. She looks real dope and she seems great for PvE. I feel like if I could pick one right now, I guess it would depend on which account I'm on. On the main account, I feel like I probably need... I feel like I need a good hit. I might take Lucifer on the main account, honestly. I feel like I need a good hitter. A good single target hitter. On the free-to-play, on this account, I don't know. I mean, Lucifer doesn't seem like a bad option either way. I could Ben Austin might be dope. I need a good support. I need a good cleanse, like, support, and his focus fire thing is really cool. I might go him on this account right now if I could. Obviously, by the time we can get one, it's going to change drastically, but those might be my 2 options I would pick right now for both accounts. They're interesting. It's going to take us a long time to get one. I mean, as we get a little bit stronger, and we're able to participate more heavily in these events and get further in some of these other things where these, what are they called? Mythic hero shards are. We'll accumulate them a little bit faster. On my main account, I have 18 of them. And my main account's like, I think, 4 days older, maybe, if that. So that's the difference in like spending money and getting stronger a little bit quicker and being able to participate a little bit more heavily in these events. I'm not wailing out on that account or anything. I've spent maybe $120 at this point, but we'll get there. I mean, we'll eventually get one. But that's it. That's a look at all the Mythic champs. Let me know who you guys think. Like, do you have a favorite and why? Who do you think looks the coolest? Who would you take if you could take one right now? Like, who do you have your eye on? Who you planning on getting when you can get one? Let me know all that in the comments. It would be pretty interesting to see. And that's it. We'll get out of here. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope this was a fun one for you, and we'll see you